The climate crisis and the economic crisis are intertwined.
Our stories, your stories, must echo every day.
So it's yet another reason why we have to pay attention to stopping this crisis before it really gets out of control.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
When I was a kid, we were afraid to go out of our homes for fear of being burned by acid rain. Then it was the hole in the ozone later. And now I'm told that I can't drive my vehicle because it's killing polar bears.
They tell us that the polar bear population is terribly threatened, that polar bears are dying already as a result of climate change.
We must act now is the common thread running through all of this.
5-10 years ago, you couldn't call yourself an environmentalist without your bottled water in your hand. Now you can't call yourself an environmentalist without your petition to ban bottled water.
So we have these fads that come along: resource depletion, population growth, now it's CO2 and global warming. They all seem to have the same solution: huge international government control over your economic life.
The really inconvenient truth for Al Gore is that over the last few years, we aren't seeing the global warming that we saw, in the 90s. We're actually seeing it cooling.
Another 15 years of cooling on top of the past 10 might just put a dent in the global warming alarmist bandwagon.
They've had to change the name from global warming to climate change.
The issue's never the issue. This isn't about the climate.
If you think Katrina was a mess, wait till you see cap and trade legislation trying to reduce our emissions in order to save the planet for global warming.
There are only three things you have to know about cap and trade. It's a tax, it's a tax, it's a tax.
If you want to know who would get rich off this bill, just look at who's lobbying for it.
There are firms that have products to sell that will only sell if we can drive the price of energy up.
There are also many big companies that think they're going to get rich because this is an energy rationing scheme.
We estimate over 1 million lost jobs.
You lose steel jobs, you lose aluminum jobs, you lose ceramic jobs, you lose glass jobs.
I think that there's a lot of people who like to exert control over the economy, control over our lifestyles, that are using the environment and fears of environmental disaster to affect that end.
It's an attack on freedom.
The free market solves problems as if by an invisible hand.
Clever people with resources in a wealthy, prosperous society that has free markets will have the incentives to improve the world and to make money.
The greatest friend to the poor is big business, who will go in and treat people with dignity, who will not treat people as charity cases, who will give people a job.
Wealthier is healthier, wealthier is cleaner.
So we have the highest environmental quality in the world, and we're the richest nation in the world. That is not a coincidence.
When it gets down to it, it's all about controlling our lives, what kind of light bulbs to have in our house, what kind of cars to drive, what we're allowed to do for a profession.
The truth of the matter is these things aren't well-intentioned, and they're not going to accomplish the task that they're supposedly trying to accomplish.
And if you're a politician who can present himself convincingly as someone who's going to not just serve his constituents, but save the world, doesn't that politician deserve to be reelected?
These so-called environmentalists, they use fear and lack of understanding to achieve their goals. And if we don't examine their lies, we're going to reach the point of no return.